Hey, Chetanya, if I hopefully pronounce your name correctly, for you two, a portfolio review. I'm going to share my screen, jump straight into it for those first impressions. Overall, I'm going straight into it, by the way. I would say you're like so to make it clear, we have like a freelancer pool, or like a list, kind of. And in that list, it's kind of like a Trello board. We have, of course, everybody in there with all their details and a little bit of their visual work, so it's easy to see who we need. And we actually label people with, yeah, like with letters. So we have like triple A for like legit high level people. And then we have AA, A, and B. B being really sort of like edgy. If we really can't find anybody, we'll go into that pool, but preferably, depending on the client and the budget, we're somewhere in the A to triple A. That's where we hire usually. In your case, first impressions, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I'm thinking you're A. Now understand that A isn't necessarily bad, because in our pool, people that we really are not convinced on is not even on the list. So I do think you'll be on the list, so, be happy. But why I say A, and it's a bit of a mixed bag, let's see, yeah, this is working. So again, when I hire people or look at portfolios, the main concern I have is, how professional are you? How trustworthy are you? When I give you a task, and with a task I mean we're doing a live production for a client, so there's time frames, deadlines, budgets, and all that involved. If I dedicate, I don't know, 10K to you, like 10K budget wise, so 10,000 euros, including all the time frames and deadlines involved in that task, am I going to get back what I need to do a high level professional delivery to the client, or is it going to be a shit show, mismanaged? I'm going to need to hold your hand, or I'm going to get work back that needs 10 revisions on it. That element, I call that like being a creative professional, is the number one priority I look at with people. Not how good their art is, not how good of an artist they are, not how good of a 3D modeler they are, but really that professional level. All the art and modeling skills is part of it, but I rather have a lesser artistic person, but he's very professional, than the other way around. So take that into the way you look at your own portfolio and other people. How do I look at your work? This one, let me make that red, looks amazing. It's a small piece, but it looks high level, right? So that's a good sign. This one's kind of like mixed, like the colors seem a bit off. Could be a design choice. From a thumbnail wise, maybe, I'm not sure. This one kind of the same thing. I'm also not sure. It looks very, it's kind of missing composition. The lighting is kind of not, there's no purpose to the lighting and everything. Same here. It's kind of also like, I'm not sure. The lighting doesn't really seem high level or professional. The screen is blank. Like if you're going to do a Game Boy and the screen, like you have a screen, do something cool there. And this one also seems a bit, I wouldn't say beginner level, because I think it's a fully fleshed scene, but it's also not really a professional level. So that said, for example, with that screen that this is missing, it's kind of telling me, or that's my impression, you're not really pushing forward. You're not really, how do you say that? You're not going all in, to get to the best result. Same with this one, like the lighting is kind of generic. Why didn't you choose to make a dramatic lighting? Like there's tires here, so what is the storytelling here? Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a zombie apocalypse situation. So why is the lighting not matching that? Or what's going on there? Same with this one. It's like, it's kind of boring composition. Yeah, it's like, why isn't it to the max possible, and like has great storytelling, and all these little elements tells me I'm not sure if I can trust you as a professional. This one does have that, even though it's a small object. So let's click into all of them. Let's see if the recording is going good. Yep. Oh, cool, it's a video. Good stuff. I like that. Also really cool. I like this one a lot. I like how you're playing with the cameras. So looking into it now, into more detail, it is better than I thought. Cool that you have the references, but it doesn't show me, again, can I trust you in production? Because what often happens is people have like amazing work and it looks visually great, but how is it built? How is it technically? Is it engine ready? Is it optimized? You see what I'm saying? Like that part, the production part, is, yeah, to me more important than the end result, because the end result in a production is something we do as a team with well, me being the art director most of the time. So the end result is a little bit less important, if that makes sense. For example, I see like gaps here in the rocks. I'm not sure if that's a good sign for me. So I hope that makes sense, right? Again, it's also like a very limited scene. So again, like, when you're doing client productions, it's usually like bigger. There's bigger scope, there's more detail, there's more cogs and wheels in the machine turning. So there are some cool pieces here. I really like this one, by the way, but I'm not 100% sure if I would trust you from a production standpoint. So for this specific piece, upgrade it with your process. So it's cool that you have the references, but show wireframes, show how you got to conclusions, why you made certain creative choices, why you made certain technical choices. Zoom in on elements so people can see how well things are made, and look into these gaps, because I think that's kind of like a artifact or a bug. But that process is important. On to the next one, scope. Yeah, cool stuff. I love military stuff myself. Now that I look at it, especially here, I also think it's kind of like medium level. It's not bad. Again, it's missing process, by the way, like wireframes and stuff like that. Like, how did you build it? Oh, wait a minute. There's more here. Okay, sorry, my bad. Cool render. Super low poly, which is cool. Nice work. There's a ton. Okay, that's of course the... okay. This could be a choice where you just put this in the texture, by the way. But that's a creative choice. Yeah, this is good stuff. I like that it's low poly. So this is the higher poly. But what this one is kind of missing is it's missing rendering. So there is no, it falls a bit flat in the rendering. The lighting is boring, the material definition is off. There is of course some wear and tear. And again, it's always a creative choice, but when you look at cinematic realism, so you have realism and you have cinematic realism. And usually in cinematic realism, you're actually stepping away a bit from realism to get to a point where it feels more realistic than photorealistic. And it reads really nice. So, hope that comes across correctly. Add more storytelling to the way you texture. Maybe there should be a little more scuffs here, just like a little bit, as if it's more used more used by the operator, the soldier. So I would add more of that, just to, give it more life, give it more purpose, life. Hope that makes sense. Plus, I think material definition and lighting is a bit off. I'm not sure what rendering platform you're using, but the lighting is very, it's not there. It's like white lighting, and the material reflections and the roughness are not really there yet. So it's a cool piece. I think it's worthy to give this a second look and upgrade it, or at least try to push it further than you currently have. Otherwise, really cool. We're okay, I need to hurry up, about 10 minutes already. This one, I like that you're pushing yourself to do a big scene, because in our work, we need to push ourselves out of our comfort zone a lot, right? So I really appreciate that, but it does feel older. Looking at this, which I still think you can do better, this is probably older. So imagine you upgrade this, what I said earlier, and then apply all of that to this. Imagine how great this would look. And then the biggest major feedback for this piece is build purpose, or yeah, have purpose in your camera and lighting. So, you know the squint eye technique, close your eyes a little bit so you get this blur. I'm really just like looking at this thing, and there's like a little thing here, and there's like a sort of kind of, but I'm mostly looking here. And I'm not really sure what the goal is when it comes to what should draw your attention. I'm also not really sure what this is, but this could be your focus. Maybe there should be a thing here, or it could be here, I don't know. But the attention right now is mostly here. Why? Did you, were you conscious of that? Why did you do that? So learn to design your work better, or give purpose to your work. So maybe the focus of the viewer should be in the middle, even though I'm not really sure what this is, to be honest, from a sort of medieval standpoint. But maybe there should be more composition going in this direction, more line work. It's kind of hard to do that in this piece. More lighting going down here, so look into composition, both through shape, but also in lights and colors. And I think this piece, can really use that. Plus, what I said earlier, all your assets and textures can definitely be better. Breakdowns, good. So yeah, that's feedback there. This one, also pretty cool. I used to play a lot of Game Boy when I was like 5. So yeah, always cool. Again, it's kind of like medium quality, and I think you can do better. From what I see in your work, I would really recommend push further. So in your next piece, push further to really get to like AAA super awesome quality. So again, in meshes, in shapes, in lighting, in materials, like really like go to ArtStation, find like the best 3D piece you can find and aim for that. Yeah, kind of a messy mesh. So it's kind of in line with what I said earlier. So I'm not going to linger on this too much. Also remember, the presenting is work itself, right? So this very long thing, is that the best way, frame, is that the best way to present it? I also have the impression that this curve here is not correct. So yeah, kind of what I said earlier, I think you can do better and you need to push further. Oh, same one. Yeah, it's kind of the same, similar to this, same feedback as this one. This is probably one of your oldest work. I would almost say maybe remove it, or it definitely needs an upgrade, but also here, no purpose in the lighting. The camera is not bad per se, but I have no clue what is going on here. Material definitions are off. So yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. I think you can do better, and I think you need to, in your next piece, really aim for that super legit AAA quality, and you do everything with purpose. And I say do something small first, like get this into AAA Battlefield 6 quality first, and then do that in a scene, in your second piece as a scene. Hope that helps. If you have more questions, you're always free to reach out.